This is eXp Group Insights, hosted by Anthony Serafino, where global produce, innovation, and leadership connect to drive the future of supply and success.
All right, we are back here at eXp Group Insight Podcast, live from the trade show, New York Produce Show, trade show floor at Javits Center. Anthony Serafino, your host. Yeah, hi, Norma. Your host alongside as well, and I'm privileged. First-time guest, our Chief Operating Officer, Fraymil Rodriguez. Fraymil, so good to have you on the podcast, my friend.
Thank you. It's I was actually talking about it today. I said I might have to get on it today.
You know, Fraymil always jokes. He's like, "Damn, I'm trying to get out of this podcast." But you know, when I had my dad on the podcast, it was like, now no one's got an excuse, I think. But
once he gets on, we all have to get on.
We all have to get on. That's exactly right. Fraymil, what do you think about the show?
I think it's been the busiest show to date for me. Since we've been exhibiting, there's the most people, the best turnout.
I will say something. I feel like I've been trying to get you to sit down. We're now in the back half of the trade show, but I've been trying to get you to sit down for 10 minutes for me all day, and you finally have 2 seconds for me. Thank you.
I'm not going to lie. I'm actually happy right now because my feet were killing me.
His feet were killing, so he's got a nice plush chair he's sitting on and talking on this podcast. Busy show.
Busy.
There's
busy.
a lot going on with this organization. What excites you?
Oh, everything.
I knew you were going to say that.
There's so much untapped potential and so many things in the works for us that the excitement is endless. There's not one thing, it's just everything. It's funny because today I see a lot of people from Texas.
Yeah.
I think we didn't start the trend.
Yep.
There's people here before, but I feel like we've allowed, kind of opened it up for them, and more people have wanted to be at the show.
You know, it's funny you mentioned this because I saw Farbridge was here.
Freddie.
Yes. I was talking with him. I was on a panel with Tony Martinez.
Mm-hmm.
I saw he was here as well.
There's a lot of exhibitors as well.
A lot of exhibitors. I saw a ton of different organizations here that are here on the show. Cape Fruit, all these companies, as you know, that have been here showcasing. Carabello's here as well. So there's a lot
shout out to Edgar.
Yeah, shout out to Edgar as well. So you see, maybe eXp Group didn't necessarily start the trend, but we definitely helped facilitate maybe the growth between Texas and New York, and demographics are changing as well.
Absolutely. Texas is a growing market. Obviously, that's why we're there. But I feel like everyone sees the North as like that next market.
Yep.
We went south because we were already here, but now everybody's trying to come up north.
Yeah.
And you know what? There's business for everybody. So we're here. We welcome everyone.
We welcome everyone. And Fraymil mentions that it is a busy show. So I've spoken to most people. At first, I thought the show was quiet. Man, am I eating my words now? The show has been super busy.
Listen, it took me 2.5 hours to get here today.
2.5?
And by the time I got here, the place was jam-packed.
Jam-packed.
It was jam-packed. It was 10:30 and it was already full.
It was full. So it's interesting. They relayed it out. I don't know if you noticed it. They respread it kind of out a little bit.
It looks better.
I think it looks better. I told this to Ken Whitcare, who runs the show, that he said he realigned it. He put more areas to facilitate business. Central Park he made smaller and spread all the booths around. I think this trade show floor is the best it's ever looked.
Like I said, I really feel like this has been the best New York produce show to date. And I think the turnout, once the results come out, will reflect that.
The proof is the pudding. There's no doubt about it. So, I asked my father, he said that 2026 will be the groundbreaking year for our organization, is what he said. I'm curious to know what you think about those comments. Obviously, we're going to always highly tout our organization. You've been a big perma bull in the sense where you're very bullish on our aspects, our kind of our outreach of where we're going. What do you think about 2026?
I think he's 100% right.
Yeah.
I feel that 2025 was it was a lot of ups and downs, and not just for us, for everyone.
Tariffs didn't help.
We have some political issues and situations that are going on. We don't need to talk about that.
Yep.
But I think 2026 he's 100% right.
Yeah.
The ground is laid for us, and I feel like we're going to take things to another level. Even today at the show, I've come across some good conversations, and I feel like they're gonna help catapult us to another level, and we're gonna be able to really show the world and the country who EXP is. If they didn't know, they're gonna know.
You know, it's a great thing you mentioned about if they're going to know, because I think part of a really good organization is illustrating and showcasing our story and what we're doing. Over your right shoulder, even over your left shoulder, is frescura y servicio en el mismo lugar. You know, freshmen and service coming at the same place. Talk about that a little bit.
The service is everything. I mean, we're in an industry.
And my father said the same thing. He said service, service, service.
Service. Anybody can offer pineapples and bananas, but who can service me the best? Who can take care of me the best? And I feel like there's plenty of companies who are bigger than us, who might have a bigger platform than us, but what we offer is the service that they cannot replicate. They say the Titanic moves slow, but we don't. We move like a speedboat, but we operate like the Titanic. So there's a lot of
Great
things.
analogy.
There's a lot of things that we could do that some wish they can and they try to, but there's a lot of red tape. There's a lot of politics. There's a lot of things. So we're an organized corporation, but we operate and move like a small one. So we get the best of both worlds.
You know, you mentioned the best of both worlds, and I think the best of our world is our logistics fleet.
Absolutely.
I think our logistics organization is really what separates us from the competition. I don't know if you saw the truck parked out front when you walked in. I got at least 15 comments about that. My dad said, "Does it look clean?" I said, "When does it not?" Right? We got the best in the business.
Absolutely. I mean, we have almost 80 pieces of equipment on the road and now
Yeah.
at the moment and counting. And it definitely separates us. It allows us to do things that some can't. I mean, we pay the cost to do what we have to do for the customer.
Yeah.
And I think it shows because there's plenty of people who sent me videos and pictures of our trucks and everyone was very impressed.
Tell me if that's not the most fulfilling thing for me in this organization and working alongside it. I mean, anytime you get someone to send you a picture of our trucks and our fleet of equipment on the road, how does that not make you smile?
It happens almost every day.
Yeah.
Somebody sends me a picture of one of our trucks, and there's always a funny story and
Yeah.
this and that. But
Yo, bro,
people love it.
it's something like that, which is
People love
always
it.
great. And I think it separates us. Think about it. It's so interesting, our industry. We're in a trade show floor. There's about 200 businesses probably here, whether either walking it, probably more, but either walking or exhibiting. Let's just say exhibiting. We're booth 169, so there's at least 200 booths, right? So there's 200 companies that can sell you the same thing. Why should you buy from me?
You should buy it from EXP because we're going to take care of you. At the end of the day, your needs are going to be met. Our wants might not necessarily be met, but your needs will. Because when you give us an order at 8 p.m. at night, we're going to get you that delivery. When you're the day after a holiday
Yep.
and some people may not be open, may not be able to fulfill your orders, we will.
I think the service avenue of it is so important for Mill, and you alluded to this. So there's a new initiative that I love. People thought I was crazy. You know, we sat down, we had our executive dinner yesterday, and I told Jose about it. There was an empty chair at it, and I said, "Oh, who's this chair for?" I said, "Well, it's for the client." Everyone's like, "Whoa." And it's kind of, I'm curious to know what you think about the initiative about having an empty chair in every meeting for the client or the customer. You talk about service. That's really what we're making decisions for at this organization.
I think it was a great initiative, to be honest with you, because someone looking outside, they might say, why is there a chair there? But when you're in a meeting, at the end of the day, you're trying to fulfill something for your client. So you have to act like they're there because you need to have their best interests in mind at all times. Because at the end of the day, it goes back to the same thing.
Yep.
You have to take care of your client or someone else will. They also have to take care of us.
Yep.
It's a two-way street.
Business is always a two-way street, but when you have that flow of information that allows it to be a two-way street, I think that's where two businesses can really flourish.
Absolutely.
You mentioned a ton of things like I'm excited for everything, but if you had to pick one real thing that you're excited for next year, I know I can't really talk about it on this podcast, but there's one thing that really excites me, and it's opening up our fourth location.
I would say that that's what excites me the most at the moment because it's going to give us an opportunity to expand into a new market, and it's going to open up even more of the country, and it's going to open up everyone to see what we do and who we are. So those green trucks are getting closer and closer to going around the country.
Let's talk about those green trucks. One last thing. Our first, the green fleet per se, first arrived in McAllen, Texas. First piece of equipment arrived in McAllen, Texas. And the second thing they're asking me is, I think they need a tractor now. So now you're going to put a tractor there.
So now you're in how many states? I mean, our trucks in this area are going from Boston down to Maryland,
Yep.
across to Pennsylvania, now in Texas. I mean, Texas is like its own country.
Texas
So,
is his own place, right?
but just being able to maybe go down one day in the next couple of weeks when I'm there and maybe run into our truck on the road, it's going to feel awesome.
I'm looking forward to. You have to send me some pictures when you're down there. You're bringing one of your chief lieutenants is going down with you.
That's right. Saul will be there with me.
Saul Hernandez, and I was talking with him yesterday at our executive outing, and he said he's never been, and he's super excited there. I'm excited for him to experience that. What are you really excited for him to see down there? I think it's so key for someone like you that operate the entire organization, but having the key people that you work right into and report right into understand exactly what you know. As much as I would love to replicate you 6-7 times, it's impossible.
So Saul, thank you. So Saul he's an initiator. So he's created a lot of initiatives and systems for us at HQ that work. And when you find something that works, you have to replicate it. So Texas is going to be a very big component of our entire infrastructure as an organization. And I want him to see it because at the end of the day, no matter how good you're doing, you can always do better. So what can we do better?
There's always room for improvement.
Always.
I always say there's something I had an initiative earlier in the organization is good to great. Why be good? Because many are good, few are great. That's
Like
why
my Mamba mentality posted.
Exactly right. And I was going to bring up Michael Jordan because Michael Jordan had that killer instinct. I always think about that shot that they were down 1 point to Utah. 1998 Game 7 Finals in Utah, and he didn't push off, but and he nailed just an elbow jumper, and he had that killer instinct, and you have it in your office. One of Fraymil's favorite basketball players, if you're listening, is Kobe Bryant, and Kobe Bryant is obviously one of the greatest players to play in the history of the NBA, but he also had that next level killer instinct, and I think in our industry, I was talking to Mario Diaz about this, our chief financial officer. He said, now you're seeing the next generation and young leaders coming into this business, into this industry, and few people have that Mamba, that Kobe, that killer instinct. I think that's what really can separate our organization a little bit.
I feel like we have so much young talent. I've spoken about it with a few people here from different organizations, and we had a couple meetings this week. And one of the gentlemen said that he couldn't believe how many young people we had in the positions that we had. So I feel like talent is a premium. And I feel like we have a large amount of talent in our organization, and it's going to help us get to the next level. And it's also going to help us get more talent because iron sharpens iron.
It does.
So at the end of the day, you need people to be just as good or better to make you better. And that's what we have in our culture.
You know what it's so good about culture? And you talk about the pillars of our organization, quality, service, brand, and culture. Culture, it's like when you set the bar high, it's not I, it's we. It's not, it's no yo, it's nosotros. And when you think about that, it's when people are trying to level up, everyone levels up together. And I think when you see people leveling up together, that changes the game tremendously. You've done a great job of that.
Thank you. And I feel like our team has done an excellent job because at the end of the day, we all lead by example. You, me, your father, and everyone else. And I think the good ones and the great ones are going to want to follow that example because they want to get to that point. They want to get to that level. And they want to get above that level. And that's what we need. We want them to be better.
Of course.
Because the better they are, the better we are.
No doubt about it. So, Fraymil, you have a litany of people that work underneath you in operation. Being the COO of an organization of our size is a tremendous responsibility. Give me 2 solid qualities you think of someone that works into you and reports into you. What do you expect out of those people? There's a couple of those people here and they listen. What do you expect out of people like that? It's a loaded question.
Yeah, for sure. But it's okay. I think the first and most important thing is hard work, but not necessarily physical. I'm the type of person that never shies away from work. And it could be good, it could be bad, depending who you ask. But I feel like it's been more good than bad for me. And I think that you always have to do first, ask later, because at the end of the day, when you go to get something, you're going to get it faster than if you wait for it to come to you. So at the end of the day, I think some of our people, a good amount of them, and they're where they are because of that, is because they go out and get it as well. They're not waiting for it. They're asking for it. What do you got? What can I help you with? What do you do? And I think that that's priority number 1. Because if I have to tell you everything, then it's kind of like I just do it myself.
What about accountability? I think accountability is everything for me.
I feel
Curious to
that
know where you think about that.
I agree with you 100%. When you mess up, you mess up. It's okay. You learn from it. A mistake is not a death sentence. It's a mistake. It's a learning opportunity so that you don't make that mistake again. So accountability is very important. And that could probably be the second one. Honesty, loyalty. There's so many.
There's so many of them,
yeah.
right? But I think accountability to me is everything. And when I look at an organization, we want our team members to be super accountable. So if our team members globally are listening, accountability is for me absolutely everything.
That's huge.
Yeah, Fraymil, I could spend all day talking with you. I don't want to take
Me
much
too.
of your trade show floor. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Always. Fraymil Rodriguez, our COO, our Chief Operating Officer at eXp Group. It's a pleasure to have him on the trade show floor with me.
Thank you.
On eXp Group Insights podcast. We'll be back in a bit, talking more content live from the New York Produce Show. It's the Javits Center, eXp Group Insights.
Thank you.